Hello. All right. Welcome back to our weekly YouTube live here. And we are getting this channel started. So if you come across this channel and you like what you hear and see or feel or whatever it is, please subscribe to this channel because we are building it. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the topic today is stop chasing people who are unkind to you. So let's talk about this for a minute. This piece right here of stop chasing people that are unkind to you, it took me a really long time to actually get that, to understand and realize it's not okay. Like, it wasn't okay for me to keep chasing after people who are either mean or unkind to me. So what do I mean by this? So for me, I grew up in such dysfunction and a lot of negligence and a lot of neglect that I was constantly looking for like scraps, basically scraps for people to love me, to pay attention to me. And I was in a number of different relationships where the person didn't treat me well. And I allowed it. I co-created it. I allowed it. I didn't have my self-esteem was really low. So I basically I would take what I could get. And a lot of times people weren't kind to me. And what I would do was, even in the fact that they weren't unkind to me, I would chase them because I was so needy and I was needing so much from people that I would chase them, meaning that they could be mean to me and I'd want them back, or I'd continue to call them or continue to be in friendships with them. And every time I did that, my self-esteem would get lower and lower and lower. And it took a long time for me to really set some boundaries and really be in my power and not allow people, one, if people treat me poorly, to not chase after them and try and rectify the situation or heal the relationship, and two, to stop attracting people like that altogether. Now, I recently had a situation where something like this came up with my sister. We were estranged for 25 years. I'm not going to go too far into the story. And then we reconnected and she just cut me out all of a sudden for no reason. And I've been trying so hard to like get back into her inner circle. I have no idea what happened. I don't know why it went sideways. I've done everything I can to possibly connect with her and understand where she's coming from, but she won't give me anything. She won't tell me anything. She just makes up excuses and lies and things like that. And I can't get through. And I've brought out all my communication styles and skills. But anyway, we had an interaction yesterday, and it was not, I realized in that interaction that how she was being unkind, meaning she could tell she knows I want a relationship with her. She know, in a way, I was feeling this like imbalance of power. And I realized just then, I was like, Beth, I'm not going to chase this anymore. I'm going to release the attachment to having a relationship with this person who is clearly uninterested in it, and grieve it and release it, because I was chasing her because I wanted to have a relationship with her. She's one of my only family that I have alive, actually. All my siblings and I are estranged. And I can't be the only one wanting to be in a relationship. And as I was chasing her over the last 4 years, wanting to create something, and at first it started out as I really just, let's have a conversation. I would love to hear. I'm open. But then I realized it was hurting my self-esteem and it was hurting my power, and I was giving my power away. So I did some prayers and rituals, and I was like, I need to let this go. And it got me to thinking about, I've been working with people for a very long time, 20 years. I've been listening to people, supporting people, and I've heard a lot of stories, and I've heard a lot of different ins and outs of relationships. And my experience is this: the power dynamics in a relationship are interesting. It takes a lot of work for people to get into a balanced power dynamic, meaning each person holds the power on equal footing. But generally, that is not the case. Generally, one person is holding the power. I'm talking romantic relationships, sometimes in friendship too, for sure. One person is holding more power than the other person. And when that happens, there's this little vibration of the person. This is not with everyone, but this is just, I'm generally speaking here in generalities. They're kind of chasing, right? Like, because this person's holding the power, this person is allowing them to hold the power, and there's a chasing after them. Just even if it's slight, even if it's just a little bit. And then sometimes it flip-flops where the power dynamics flip. My husband and I go through that often, where sometimes he holds the power, I hold the power, we are working. And in those places, he's chasing me and I'm chasing him. And it's like, it's interesting dynamic, but we're working, and we have been working for years to balance out the partnership. And the more we do that, the less we are activating each other, the more balanced we are, the more connected we are, the more sexual we are, the more all of it we are. So in the chasing, especially if you're chasing someone who's been unkind to you or has played power games with you or ego games with you, you see this a lot too in boss, employer-employee relationships where someone is in a position of power. It's kind of like in the fabric that you're going to, like, it's set up to chase them. Not always, this is general, but set up to chase them. But in the chasing, we lose our power, we lose our self-esteem, and whatever wounding is there that has created that, it activates more and more as we do it. So here's the question. Now, there is a difference between chasing and wanting to heal a relationship. So coming up on August 17th, I'm putting on a free event, and we're going to be called Codes of Connection. We're going to be talking about how to create genuine communication with people, be genuine in your communication to create long-lasting relationships. That is so that energy right there is very different from chasing. And we're going to be talking about this in the event as well. But creating genuine communication, especially if there is someone in your life and you want to heal it, you want to create longevity, you want to come back to maybe the way it was in the beginning. There are ways of healing that, being honest in your communication, having scripts, so to speak, knowing what to say, knowing how to hold your energy, knowing how to be empowered while you're doing that, and standing for someone, like standing for the relationship. Like, I am taking a stand for us because I love you that much. I see beyond your wounding. I see beyond your shadow. That is one thing. And that's what I was first doing with my sister, is I was like, I'm standing for us. We had a lot of trauma as a kid. I am standing for us. I can hold it all for both of us. I love you. Just communicate with me. And then it got to a place where she was not willing. She wasn't willing. I did it all. I went every which way and sideways to get her to open up. And at some point it started to become, in my opinion, there was a power play. And after 4 years, I had to say, you know what? I need to let this go. I need to let this go for me. And here's the thing. I know that I have done everything in my power to communicate, show up, be there for her, be there for the relationship. And at this point, it's no longer in my best interest to do so. And so if you have a relationship in your life where you really want to heal it, maybe it's gone sideways, maybe this person isn't talking to you anymore, maybe they kind of give you, like what my sister does, they give you like one word answers, or it's all like surfacey stuff, but you want to go back to that place where you're connecting and you want it to be real, and you want that. That is okay. But while doing it, really checking in with yourself. One, how are they treating you? Is it something that is is in your best interest? And are you, when you're communicating with them, are you communicating effectively? Are you communicating honestly? Are you communicating genuinely? Are you holding your power? Are you working on your side of the street? Are you understanding what your attachment is to it and really using the situation as a way to get deeper and more connected to yourself? If you're doing all of that and you feel amazing, and they're still not budging, or it's starting to feel like the power dynamic is not moving, when do you say, all right, I'm now turning this over to God, turning this over to the divine, and taking a step back? And the answer is when you feel as if it's harming you. It's not worth it once it's harming you. Of course, you've tried it all, right? You've worked through it. You've worked to understand it. You've worked on your side of the street. You've done all those things. Yes. And then it goes into some place that is just not healthy. Now, in the dating world, that's a whole other thing. And I have seen some of my friends, and I used to do this myself, where I was getting the message, I'm not interested in you, or some guy was an asshole to me or just not kind to me or giving me little scraps, and I would still like chase after him. But I didn't have a relationship with this person. I was just giving my power away and trying to get any scraps from him necessary, not necessary, that I thought were necessary at the time. But that's a little bit different than standing for a relationship that you've had for a while. We can't control people at all. We don't even know what people are going to do. We don't know what the outcome is of most situations. And when we can show up knowing that we have gone the extra mile, and then knowing when something is harmful and is not good for us anymore, and releasing it is really hard, but sometimes necessary. And I'll leave you with this. This happens a lot, and I have never experienced this, so I cannot speak directly from experience. I have counseled people and worked with people who've gone through this, is when, a spouse or a child or a sibling is in severe addiction, and the person goes every which way to help them, to save them, to support them, and at the cost, sometimes financial cost, physical cost, emotional cost, and it is gut-wrenching and it is hard. And this is an extreme example. But when do you say enough is enough? Not meaning I'm not gonna not be here for you if you knock on my door and ask for help. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm gonna be done chasing you, but I'm here. You've heard these stories before, and it is complicated, and it is hard, and it is challenging. And I've worked with a lot of sober people, and I've heard this story again and again and again, that it was when my mom said no more. Like when my mom stopped continuously chasing after me is when I got sober. When they realized like there's that she's serious, or your parent's serious, and they're not going to do this anymore, but their door is open when you're ready to get help. That's an extreme example, but it's real. It's very real. My husband went through an addiction after he had cancer, and I had to, he's good now. Everything's good now. It was years and years and years ago, but he had to leave for a while. At first I was chasing him, desperate to heal him, but he wasn't ready at that time. So he needed to leave, and he left for a while and did some work and got sober, and here we are. And it was so hard. It was so hard. I had a toddler at the time. The amount of strength it took from me to do that, it was beyond hard. But it took me a while to get there, chasing, begging, pleading, and he wasn't ready. So If you have someone in your life where you have gone every which way and sideways and they are not budging, they are not moving the needle, I'm not talking about an addiction. I'm talking about whatever it is in creating and coming back and healing the relationship you have, or if you're dating and you're chasing people, because you can feel that anxiety build up in you of like, I gotta have them. I gotta have it. I can't be rejected. I can't be rejected. If this is happening, and I know there's triggers and I know it's layered, trust me, I know, but if this is happening, just ask yourself, is this in my best interest? And if it's someone that you love and you decide, you know what, I'm going to let it go, I'm going to turn this over to God, my door is open when they decide to come back or they decide to create a relationship with me. That's where I am with my sister. I'm here, but I'm done chasing. Like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. I'll welcome you with open arms, but I'm done chasing. Because it hurts me too much and it's not moving the needle forward. So if you have anything like this in your life, just asking yourself these questions. And if you want to take a stand for this person and you're like, you know what, I haven't turned over every rock, I haven't gone every which way, I haven't done my own personal work to work on the relationship, then if you're not doing those things, what's stopping you? And begin to move forward and do that, everything I just mentioned, so that you can have that intention of healing the relationship. We are in relationship all day, every day. Even if you are a shut-in or you don't go outside or you don't interact with a lot of people, there are people you interact with, people who deliver your food, deliver your mail. Like, we are in relationship. We cannot avoid it. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, even if you're just going on social media, you are in relationship. So why not master it? Why not create genuine communication and connection and feel fucking empowered while doing it? And learning how to do these things so that you can become masterful and create the relationships that you want in your life. We're not taught this in school. We're not. But we can learn now. So I have a free event coming up on August 17th. It's a 3-part live event, online live. I will leave the link here in the comments for you to register. You are literally one click away from receiving tools that are going to permeate and create a ripple effect of genuine communication and long-lasting relationships in your life. All right. My name is Beth Osmer. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've heard something that you liked, please subscribe to this video as we are building this channel up. I'm going to go. It is 1,000 freaking degrees in Arizona. Please pray for rain. Like, honestly, we usually have rain during the summer, and there's been like 5 drops of rain, and the plants and the animals are having a hard time. All right. Sending you so much love today, and I'll see you next Tuesday. No, next Monday. Next Monday. It's Monday. Okay. Have a great day.